This is Undaunted.Life, a man's podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Thompson. Let's get into it. If they are brave enough to suit up, you have to be brave enough to let them. That is Elizabeth Shiftwell from her book, Humanizing the Badge. So guys, excuse me, got a short episode today. Just got some announcements and one thing that I'll need your support on, and apologies for the voice again right here from the beginning. Yes, I'm trying to recover from back-to-back vocal cord surgeries, but then all of a sudden, a couple of days ago, I come down with a virus that I thought, oh, I have strep throat. I've had strep throat before. I know what this feels like. Go to the doctor. They're like, well, there's something going around right now that is not strep throat, but it's acting like it. So what that means in doctor speak is, yeah, we can't give you any medicine to make you feel better. You're just going to have to deal with it. So I've been dealing with maybe the worst sore throat I've ever had in my life. So it's like, yeah, great. Okay. On top of everything else, get behind me, Satan. I'm going to talk anyway. But a few things I wanted to go over today. Again, I'll try to keep this short and to the point. First of all, I just wanted to give another thank you to our donors. If you don't think that you make a difference as a donor to Undaunted.Life, I want you to think again, because with my voice recovery and with everything that we're trying to do, we've gone from 3 episodes a week to 2 episodes, and that may not seem like a lot, but if you're getting advertising revenue for 3 episodes, and then all of a sudden you go down to 2 episodes, just think about the math there. There's a lot of revenue that is just being left on the table. And so the only way we're able to keep things going on this podcast is because we have donors. We have guys like you. We've had guys give one-time donations that were fairly sizable during this time, and it is so much of a blessing to us. We're just so thankful to have you guys during this time. Again, I'm just like a ball of frustration, with the voice not performing the way I wanted to, healing not going the way that I wanted to. And so if we didn't have donors, I just don't know where we'd be right now. So I just wanted to say thank you so much to all the donors. But then you might be wondering, for those of you watching on YouTube or on Rumble, Kyle's not wearing a black V-neck, which this would be the second time in the history of this podcast I've ever not worn a black V-neck. The first time I was wearing like a long sleeve camo shirt because I was on my lawnmower mowing the lawn when Roe v. Wade was overturned. And so I just ran upstairs covered in dirt and sweat and recorded an episode. But I am wearing a brand new athletic apparel top from Origin because they just launched their athletic clothing apparel line called Origin RTX. So guys, they've got a short sleeve, which is, I'm wearing the black short sleeve right now. They've got long sleeve and they've got hoodies. So these are something they've been asked to do for a long time, and it's a workout clothes. And they are finally releasing those. They just launched last Friday. So the shirts and hoodies, they come in black, Patriot blue, navy blue, OD green, woodland camo, that's their Raptor camo, and their Highland camo. And then they also have training shorts. So these are like 8-inch inseam training shorts with pockets so you guys can wear them around. They have gray and OD green. And then they've got no-gi shorts. For those of you that do no-gi out there, there are all kinds of different no-gi shorts, but I'm so particular about the shorts that I wear because I don't want any restrictions. And a lot of the board short ones with the Velcro, it's like they kind of get bunched up when you're in certain positions. But they've created no-gi shorts, and I can tell you they're awesome because they sent me a test pair like a couple of months ago, and it's the 6-inch inseam one. They've also got 8-inch, but you don't need a lot of stuff with no-gi shorts. You just need it to have elastic. You need it to have a waistband. You need to have a drawstring. That's it. And so there's no restrictions. There's no pinching. These are amazing no-gi shorts. I have the Highland camo no-gi shorts, but they've also got gray, OD green, and woodland camo. And here's the other thing, guys. So when you go on the website and you're like, oh, man, these seem kind of expensive. I can get cheaper stuff somewhere else. Yeah, but you're not getting a product that is made 100% in America by Americans with American hands. That's not what's happening, okay? And so that's my encouragement to you is if you want to support a company that's trying to bring manufacturing back to America, you need to support Origin. So guys, the show notes will have the link to the Origin website. It's just originmaine.com or originusa.com. Use my promo code Undaunted, okay? So Undaunted will get you 10% off of your order. Go and check out the RTX. And then also, one more announcement before we get into what we're talking about today. At long last, we have new shirts in the Undaunted.Life store. Kyle, when are you going to get some more shirts? Kyle, we want some more shirts. Hey, I've got the black one and the blue one. When are you going to get some more? Well, we figured something out. we have a great organization out of Arizona that is going to be printing our shirts and shipping them out to you. So we created 2 new designs for you guys. So we've got full armor and we've got gold chain. So if you go to our website, it's the Undaunted Life store. It's just Undaunted.Life /shop. The full armor is a green shirt, which has sold incredibly well so far for those of you that are aware of it. But it's a shirt based off of Ephesians 6:11 and taking on the full armor of God. And so we've got that up on the website. But then I got to talk to you about the gold chain one. So it's a black shirt with a gold chain with like an Undaunted Life logo medallion on it. That's not everyone's style. I'm fully aware of that. But when I was in high school, one of my favorite bands at the time made a shirt like that, and they had their logo on it, and I always thought that was the coolest shirt. And anytime somebody would see you walking from far away, they're like, oh my gosh, Kyle's wearing this huge chain. So I told the people at this shop, I was like, look, I don't care if nobody buys the shirt, as long as I get one. So if you don't like the gold chain shirt, I don't care. Well, we're going to be releasing some more designs here in the next few months, so it should be awesome. But that might be my favorite shirt in existence right now. So guys, go to our shop, check out the full armor shirt and also the gold chain shirt. Buy some for you, buy some for the whole family. It'll be a lot of fun. But let's go ahead and get into what I need to get into today. And the name of this episode is Help Me Help Them. And this is where I need your guys' help, okay? So if you've been listening to us for any length of time or a while, you'll likely remember episode 338 of this podcast. It's called Sergeant CJ Nelson Goes Home. So if you haven't heard episode 338, again, Sergeant CJ Nelson Goes Home, if you haven't heard that before, please go back and listen to it. It'll make all of this make even more sense. In that episode, I discuss how my cousin, Edmond, Oklahoma Police Department Sergeant Christopher James, or CJ Nelson, was killed in the line of duty on July 19th, 2022, so last summer. Now, I can't discuss all the details of the case because it is currently in the court system, but what I can say is what has been reported everywhere, which is that my cousin CJ was killed when a man driving a work truck plowed into him while he was parked on his police motorcycle. Okay, so he is survived by my first cousin, his wife Jennifer, and their 2 young children, Emily and Connor. Now, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary, and for the immediate family, you only know what this is like if you've been through it. And so I haven't lost a spouse, so I don't know exactly what it's been like, but it's been an overwhelming year for Jennifer and the kids because you have this outpouring of support. You have all this emotion. Again, go back to the episode 338 where I talk about how my cousin Jennifer gave the eulogy. She eulogized her fallen husband and didn't even crack. Like even to this day, I'm like, I have no idea how she did that. Just unbelievable strength. But, she went back to work last year to try to, get her mind off of it. She's a kindergarten teacher, and it's like, it was just such a rough thing for them. And then for the extended family, for me and for everybody else, it's like you want to hop in and help as much as possible, but at the same time, you're going through your own emotions in the situation, and you want to help, but you don't want to be overbearing. And from the moment this happened, I wanted to do something. I always make fun of people that are like, "Oh, let's do something." It's like that's where I was. I was stuck. It's like you don't know exactly what to do. Like the day after he died, or the day he died, I just went over to their house with my baseball glove and took Connor outside and said, "Hey, let's go play catch," just to do something to get him out of the house to distract him from everything that was going on. And I wanted to help them, but as we reach the 1-year point, it's like when people are going through really, really hard stuff, it's like you're pouring water on them while they're drowning. And that's what people that, when they're just like, "Hey, let me know if there's anything I can do for you." It's like you put a burden on that person to come up with something for you to do so you can feel better. And so I was just stuck in this in-between area of like wanting to help and not wanting to be overbearing and all that kind of stuff. So basically what happened is a couple of months I came up with an idea that will allow folks like you to directly assist the Nelson family and other families that are in the exact same position as the Nelson family. So we know how much you guys like the hats that we've made. So we have partnered with Folds of Honor to launch 2 new hats, okay? So if you guys are watching this on YouTube or Rumble right now, you can check out these 2 hats right here. So there's 2 different hats. They're both thin blue line hats. This one is the Lion of Judah thin blue line hat, and this one is the American flag thin blue line hat. Okay. So maybe I'll put pictures on there or something like that. It'll be on social media. I'll send out an email to everybody as well so you guys can see these that are on our shop. Okay. Why 2 hats? Well, it's because you guys are a bunch of jerks, okay? Because back in the day, you might recall, I put out these 2 designs on our Instagram and Facebook to get people's feedback. Like, hey, do you like this Lion of Judah design better? Or do you like this American flag design better? Excuse me. And it was like 55-45, one way or the other. I couldn't get a huge majority of people to back one hat over the other, and so I just decided, screw it, we'll do 2 hats, okay? So you can get one of each. You can get just the one that you like the best or whatever, but both of these hats have our logo on the front and then the Folds of Honor logo there on the side, so it's a folded up flag. Now, the hats themselves, these are Branded Bills E300 series curved elite hats, so it's a mid-crown shape. So for those of you that don't like the flat back thing, this is more of a mid-crown. It's like an athletic golf style hat. It's got the adjustable snapback, but the material, it's breathable, water resistant. It's this quad foam cushion and performance panels, silk soft front panel, thread lock technology, PVC patches. But this is like a wear every single day doing whatever you want to do hat. Okay, so you can jump in the lake with this hat on and it'll dry out. You can wear this hat a bunch and it's not going to have all those crazy like sweat rings and stuff on it because of the particular material, because Branded Bills makes pretty much the best stuff on the planet. Quick drink. So here's what we're going to be doing with the profits of the hat. Okay, so this is the important thing. This is where you need to key in. 100% of the profits from these hats, and yes, I mean it, no games, no tricks, 100% of the profits from these hats are going straight to 2 charities. Okay, 50% is going to the Officer Nelson Fund, and 50% is going to Folds of Honor Oklahoma in Officer Nelson's name. So let's talk about those 2 real quick. The Officer Nelson Fund, this fund was established after my cousin was killed so that community members, individuals, companies, whatever from around the country could have a place to donate money that would go directly to Sergeant C.J. Nelson's family. Okay? And when I say directly, I mean directly. This is like I talked to my cousin the other day, there's no middleman, there's no percentages taken out, there's no overhead, there's no employees that need to be paid for. This money goes directly to the Nelson family so that they can pay their bills, okay? Directly. And then you've got Folds of Honor. A lot of you are familiar with Folds of Honor. So Folds of Honor was created to support the families, the spouses and children of fallen military members. And specifically, they would pay for the higher education costs of military spouses and children of deceased soldiers, and also for disabled military members as well. And not just soldiers, airmen, sailors, Marine, the whole 9 yards. And so they did that, but then they've pivoted to add the children and spouses of first responders that have fallen. So we have military members, fallen military members, and fallen first responders or heavily disabled first responders. And I believe the very first family that they dedicated in terms of that pivot to add first responders is the Nelson family. And so when I talk with the Nelson family, they want to make sure that other people that are in their same predicament can have the same blessing that they've gotten. Okay. So here's the deal with hats. We're selling them for $100. Okay. Now, why $100? Because the thing is we want to get you a quality hat while maximizing the donations to these 2 important funds, okay? We want to make sure that you get a quality product whenever you get it. But in terms of the hats like this, it doesn't get better than a Branded Bills Elite Collection hat. We could have made the cheapest hats in the world. You would have bought it, and then you would have never worn it. We want you guys to wear it. And I have no affiliation with Branded Bills. They haven't paid me to say this. They're not sponsors of the show. It's just the truth. Like, I'm a hat junkie, and these are just the best quality hats that I've ever seen in my entire life. And even after Branded Bills agreed to give us the hats at wholesale prices, which again, shout out to Branded Bills for doing that, to produce and ship this hat, okay? To produce it and to ship it to your door, it costs me between $30 and $35. Okay, and they're like, oh, that's crazy. You can get a way cheaper hat. Yes, you can get a cheaper hat, and then it's going to suck, and you're never going to wear it. If you want a high-quality hat, you got to pay for it. So $30 to $35. So we didn't want to sell these hats for like $40 or $50 and then not be able to make huge donations to these 2 organizations. And so what we're trying to do is it's more like, hey, you're making a $100 donation, and you're getting a dope hat in return, okay? So it's not about paying $100 for a hat. Oh, it's crazy to sell for a hat. Yeah, I wouldn't buy a hat for $100, but I would make a $100 donation, and if someone gave me a hat, I would wear it. So that's kind of where we're at. So both of these hats are available for pre-order right now on our website. So Undaunted.Life/shop, Undaunted.Life/shop. It is in the show notes as well. We're going to be doing a pre-order because we're only going to make the amount of hats that are ordered. Okay. And the reason is I'm giving you kind of inside baseball here, but we don't want to run the risk of buying too few hats and then not raising as much money as we could have. And then we don't want to buy too many hats and then have the cost of production that we have to eat, and that would, eat into the donations. So the pre-orders, this is important, from this day until that day. Pre-orders are going to end on Wednesday, July the 19th. That is the 1-year anniversary of when CJ was killed. Now, as soon as the pre-order ends, right? So midnight, going into Thursday, July the 20th, I'm ordering the hats right then from Branded Bills. And then I'm running a check over to my cousin's family for 50% of the profit, and another check over to Folds of Honor, Oklahoma, in CJ's name for the other 50% of the profit. That's happening immediately, okay? Now, I throw this out there to anyone who's still listening right now. I'm going to throw a challenge out to people. There are a lot of business people that listen to this podcast, small business owners, organization heads, police department, there's officers that listen to this, nonprofit execs, pastors, all kinds of people. I'm challenging you to buy a bunch of these. So you're an executive at a bank and you constantly do these golf outings. There's no better golf hat than this one. How about you buy 10 of them and give them out to people? Okay. You're in sales, you sell insurance, or you sell, oil and gas parts or something like that. You're a pastor and you significantly support first responders. Wouldn't it be cool to get them a hat that's got the Lion of Judah on it and a thin blue line to show them that you have a tremendous amount of support for them? Again, guys, I'm not trying to sell this for me. We get nothing from this. Again, 100% of the profit is going to CJ Nelson's family and to go to other families that are just like that in their position. Okay. Now, to wrap up today, there's a quote that I read from the start of the episode. It's Elizabeth Shiftwell from Humanizing the Badge. It's this: if they are brave enough to suit up, you have to be brave enough to let them. So my cousin Jennifer and their kids, Emily and Connor, they were brave enough to let CJ go out every single day. And it just happened to not work out. It sucks. I think about it every day. It's just the worst. But they were brave enough to let him go. And there's a lot of people out there right now that have done the same thing. But now my audience has the opportunity to help this family directly. I hope you will do so. Let's show off, fellas. All right, guys, before we let you go, we are going to do a quick resilience boost. At Undaunted.Life, our mission is equipping men to push back darkness with content that forges spiritual, mental, and physical resilience. So I've got a link to the Origin website. Again, guys, it's not just the workout products. It's not just the athletic apparel. They've got the best gis on the planet. They make jeans, great stretchy jeans, boots, hunting gear. They've got supplements on the Jocko Fuel side. Anything you buy from Origin or Jocko Fuel, use the promo code Undaunted to get 10% off your order. I do have a direct link to their RTX apparel site. I've also got a direct link to our Undaunted.Life shop where you can get the new t-shirts, but also these thin blue line hats. I've got a link to the episode from last year I told you about, Sergeant CJ Nelson Goes Home. And then I've also got links to the Officer Nelson Fund and Folds of Honor, so you can check those out as well.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode. Wherever you're listening to this, please subscribe, rate, and leave us a positive 5-star review. If you want me to come speak live at your event or on your podcast, just shoot me an email to info@Undaunted.Life. That's info@Undaunted.Life. Follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook, and check out our website for everything else, including how to donate to keep more content like this coming your way. Just go to www.Undaunted.Life. Also, we want to thank the band Holy Name for allowing us to use their music for our content. The music on this podcast is their song Perpetua, which is off their self-titled debut album on Face Down Records. The links are in the description. I'm your host, Kyle Thompson. Remember, keep pushing back darkness, keep forging spiritual, mental, and physical resilience, keep seeking the Lion of Judah.